almost like professionals. Not quite, but close.
We do what we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you, my friend?
I'm great. It's great to meet you.
Good to meet
I'm a
you.
fan of the of that one show that I will just maybe leave it nameless.
No,
Right?
you can name Impractical Jokers, man.
No,
It's my
we don't want to
legacy.
give those guys any credit. Screw those. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, it's it was that's a what a cool, crazy, cool concept, that whole bit, and you and friends and the way it goes back. Do you know the this is kind of off topic but on topic? Do you know the guys at Broken Lizard, Eric Stolhansky, and the guys that did Super Troopers and whatnot?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
So
yeah.
Stolhansky's from here in Minnesota, and he's kind of a friend, and I've met those guys a few times, and so it's like I think of them when I watch you guys.
Yeah.
It's just this group of friends that, I think improvisation. Wouldn't you say that it's kind of got that? You almost have to have that history with people, right, for it to work.
It makes it better for sure. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I tell the story about how I've been in 1999. We formed the Tenderloins, me and the boys, and we were a comedy troupe. We started an improv, doing improv, and then in LA, I moved to LA in 2003 to chase the dream of being a screenwriter and director. That's what I want to do when I grow up. And ended up selling men's pants at Nordstrom. But I was more like I wanted to make friends and meet people. So I joined their improv Olympic West, IO West out there. And it was a very different vibe because I'm a good improviser. I've been improvising for a while and I was really good with the boys. And I didn't realize how much it came from knowing each other, So then when I got out there and I started improvising with strangers, it was still good. I still felt good at it, but it was definitely felt different. So I think it definitely helps. And especially with our show was more about friendship on display than anything else. That's what the show was. It was like a hidden camera comedy show that was masked as a quote unquote prank show, but it's not at all.
Really just abusing your friends is really what it was all about.
Well, the concept we came up with, we had a couple concepts that didn't work. And then we were like, all right, why don't we just do what we do? Make each other laugh on camera. And that's how it ended up.
That's, what though, people gravitate, they relate to that stuff, and that's fantastic. So you got the Night of Comedy tour that's rolling through Minneapolis here on December 9th at the State Theater. Definitely wanted to mention that, and we'll get to that in a second. But my one big question in surrounding Impractical Joker, you sort of alluded to it a bit right now, but it was like 12 to 13 years, right, of doing improv and you guys exploring the new technology that was out there of MySpace, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But then it just like, boom, I think I read today, season 1 was like 32 million viewers or something like that.
Yeah, it took off like wildfire. It was, and we were on a network that didn't really make much sense. We were between two tow truck shows. It was Lizard Lick Towing, then Impractical Jokers, and then South Beach Tow. That was the lineup, and I was like, "What is this?" And we couldn't believe it hit. And it, to their credit, they basically turned it on its ear and made True TV a comedy network. They tried to, get other comedies in there. They stopped with the reality tow truck stuff, and then they ended up doing scripted comedies. They did that Tacoma show, and that's.
I was just gonna say, I forgot. Like, I didn't even mean to plan that, but
Lemmy is a good. Lemmy's a friend. Yeah, they're great, and but it's like interesting to that they did that all. So it really wasn't set up to be successful, and it just ended up finding its home, and we really just put together a good show and just made sure that I'm a big believer, if you're having a good time doing something and people are watching you have a good time, they'll have a good time in return. So we just made sure that we were having fun. It was true to us, and that's really was like the thing that kept it real. Like if people were getting mad or it didn't feel right, we would stop and be like, okay, why isn't this right? And that's where improv came in. It's like, something's not working here, let's change it up.
100%. And that's what I was going to say, is that it just goes to show that if you put out a good product, it doesn't really matter where it is. They'll even find it on at True TV, which at the time was probably relatively invisible.
Channel 1 million.
My question though was, what was it like for you guys to grind? Because I work in the music world. I see bands all the time that they call an overnight success. Yeah, They just were an overnight success after 15, 20 years of touring nonstop. What was that like for things to just kind of like, because it was an overnight success after 12 to 13, 14 years of grinding.
Yeah, the rise was meteoric for sure. And it was, it was interesting because
you've obviously changed. You're so Hollywood. It's unbelievable. You're always hard to, we had to talk to 6 different people just to get them on camera. It was
You're sipping my Keurig coffee, my Keurig brand made coffee. I try not to be Hollywood. What helped us?
No,
Was,
you're not at all.
Don't know, but your friends definitely made that impossible to be Hollywood, because we were like, if somebody was just being douchey, you'd be like, what are you doing? Like, you're with your friends, so it's kind of, you keep each other set. But we're also, I always say, we became famous celebrities at 34 years old. You're already the man you're going to be. I didn't get on TV till I was 34.
Right.
So it's not like I'm a Bieber popping out, 12 years old. All of a
And
sudden,
not sure what the heck to do with it all. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, it's a different path altogether. And I just think, I try to keep it as real as we can. We take pictures with people, say hi, listen to people, hang out, try to be, because I'm definitely thankful for this ride. It's been unbelievable. And that I get to do what I do is not lost on me. So,
well, I will tell you this. I think you did it all right, because interacting with you directly is exactly the way I would have imagined it would be.
Oh,
so,
right.
So there you go.
Yeah. I mean, that was the benefit too, right? Like, you watch a TV show. I'm not playing, I'm not playing Ross from Friends, right? I'm Joe. Like, so when you saw me on TV, you saw me who I was.
But it is possible too, though, to be yourself while you're doing the thing, and then when you're off camera, just be kind of a dick that needs to, what I mean, to be catered to or whatever. I've had I've had many experiences where person is super cool on camera and in interviews, etc. But then when they well, this is an interview, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels real. You know what I mean? Anyway,
once the interview closes, I'm like, you're such an idiot. I'm like, you and your dumb questions. Thanks.
Yeah, this guy, God,
this will never see the light of day.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Anyway, you're gonna as soon as you stop rolling, you'll kick the dog, and I'm gonna use that as a transition, because I think that even though it's not available to us here in Minnesota, or maybe it's streamed, I don't know. This whole the whole Gatto Pups and Friends thing is really, really cool. Our family's a huge believer in adopt, don't shop. There's so many dogs out there that need love and kindness, that we don't need to keep bringing in more and more and more. Yeah. So do you want to just, I don't really have a specific question. It's more just an opportunity for you to talk about something that I think is just fantastic.
Yeah, we started a charity about a year ago, Gatto Pups and Friends. So we had started just by opening our home to adopt these unwanted and senior dogs is really where we're at. And instead of just collecting these beasts, we were like, you know what, why don't we try to have a bigger impact and help a little bit more by making it getting an adoption center and trying to find homes for them. So we've started to do that, and we just adopted out our 56th dog last weekend, which is phenomenal. And it's been really rewarding in a different way. It's a business, we've got volunteers. We got an adoption center in town out here on Long Island, in Glen Head. And it's been great. It's been super rewarding. I've loved them. The dogs are unbelievable. I come home from the road, I get attacked by my 9 Gatto pups, which are mine. And then, the friends are downstairs in the sanctuary, and they're like, anywhere from 20 to 25 dogs that we are working on getting homes for. And it's been such a great thing to be able to do. And, Bessie runs it great. And it's just been rewarding in a way that I didn't even know. Like, the love of a rescue dog is phenomenal. So
I've always said it's so cool to hear somebody else say that, because the love of a dog is great. And I've had dogs from breeders and they love, but it's just a different feeling it's almost like they look you dead in the eyes and they say, thank you. Like, I know what you did for me.
It's thankful. It's thankful. Yeah. The tail wag is thankful. Yeah. It's crazy. We bought our first dog, Cannoli, and that's what opened our eyes to it all. And we were like, and now she's like a diva. Like, she's like, I'm different. I was purchased, so she's like one of those, but all the other dogs, it's great. It really is just a awesome amount of, love, and, we deliver. So if you find one you like, I'll bring it to you.
All right. I'll go, I'll go look.
Take a browse, GattoPupsandFriends.com. Take a look and we'll see. We do go orders.
I mean, and I'm not trying to embarrass you or put, to me, you doing that is one major gauge of being a good human. So props to you, because that's just I also think it's funny that you work with dogs and your last name kind of could be cat in Spanish.
It's cat. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the main event here, the Night of Comedy tour. You've that's the whole reason that you stepped away from Impractical Jokers, is to focus more on doing the comedy. I've always maintained that stand-up is the hardest form of entertainment on the planet. Yeah. So I don't know what the hell you're thinking. I mean, you had on Easy Street and you're like, you know what? Let's go beat the hell out of myself for a while.
It wasn't really, It wasn't necessarily to chase a solo career at all. It was more of a, life presented some situations that needed addressing, and I ended up, having to deal with things, and but I knew I still wanted to make people laugh and entertain because that's what I live to do. And talking with my team was like, what can I do? And then my team was like, why don't you try stand up? You've performed live for decades, so why don't you just try stand up and get out there and figure out what's your hour of comedy. So I took to the road, and in about like 2 years ago, January of 2 years ago. And then I started, with a half hour, and then started telling more stories and figuring it out. And I pretty quickly came together with this night of comedy, which is an hour of stand-up comedy, which I'm very proud of. And I think it's a good product. And, I'm a storyteller. So I tell a bunch of stories about my time with the guys, friendship, of course, on and off the stage, on and off camera. Being a father now with my kids, and rescue dogs, my crazy Italian mother, stories about growing up and what's made me me. So there's a lot of it's a good mix. It's a lot of fun, and people have been coming out. Of graduated really quickly to theaters. Like, a lot of people wanted to come out, so we started filming some theaters, which I like the theater stage better because I never really did comedy clubs, and I'm like a physical comedian. So that little stage, I felt a little caged. Once I got on, I was a peacock just flying out there, which is great. So yeah, it's been really great, and it's I'm fortunate that I was able to transition and still be able to make people laugh to pay the bills. So I'm very, very happy about that. And I like that people are having a great time with it. It really means a lot to me that people, I meet people at the meet and greets after, I see them in the crowd, and they're just super happy to be there, and we have a great time.
It's, it's the oldest cliche / line ever, that laughter is the best medicine, but it just truly is. I mean, it's, you can't, you just feel the endorphins when you're made to laugh, or probably on your end as well, right? That when you make people laugh, it's everybody feels better. I feel so good right now.
Yeah, I feel super healthy. I was therapeutic. It was therapeutic for me as well because I was going through some stuff. So I was on that end of it where I was like, okay, this is definitely helping me, deal with what I'm dealing with and getting through my mental space. So I think it was great on both ends, and just to be able to still be able to do it is great. I
love that, man. That's the feel good story of the year. Let's just go with that. How about that? Huh? I love it. No, for real. I'm being sarcastic, but I'm being serious at the same time. And one last thing, there are, I don't know if you've got an account, there are something like 2.85 billion podcasts nowadays. You have found
but mine's the one.
The trick is to find a niche.
Mine's
and my
the one.
God,
I got it. Two Cool Moms is the podcast with me and Steve Byrne, comedian Steve Byrne, friend of mine out of Nashville. He's a great guy. We've been friends a long time. Then when my schedule opened up and I had a little bit more free time to try other activities, we talked about doing a podcast. And our first podcast together was Yin Yang Parmesan, because I'm Italian, he's Asian. And it was like, it didn't, we ended up started just trying to find the format. And we both always were each other's consiglieres and gave each other advice. And we both found out our moms were those kind of people. They gave strong maternal advice. So we figured, let's do what we do here. Let's tell stories about growing up with our parents or parenting or anything in between, because we're comedians and we just get to talking. And then the second half of the show, we take fan submitted dilemmas and we solve people's problems as best we can. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but it's always funny. And we've been having a great time doing it. It's
what I love though is that you try it. You do your best to offer what you believe is good, sound, motherly advice.
I do. I try. I try to do my mom proud, man. Got to take care of Jerry, man. Got to make sure. Give respect where respect is due, Mom. Much love.
Oh, like this is it. Just so you know, I'm not full of it, man. Like I'm legit. Like that's just the concept itself is hilarious. I'll be honest. I haven't ever checked it out, but I'm going to, because I think, again, the concept is fantastic, and congrats on finding the niche, because that is not an easy thing to do in a space that is well occupied.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is, but it's the same thing with everything. There's so much content out there, but if people enjoy you for what you are and they find something new about you, I have a lot of fans that at the show they'll come up, and Steve sometimes comes out and performs with me, and they'll see Steve there and they'll flip out. They'll be like, "Too cool, Mom." So it's really cool to have a new sort of fan base and a new avenue to entertain people with.
Well, I'm going to go give you a subscribe, and very, very much looking forward to December 9th, State Theater. I believe you can I think tickets are just Ticketmaster.
Go to Ticketmaster or JoeGattoOfficial.com. And
there you go. Use that. That's even better.
JoeGattoOfficial.com. It seems official.
Yeah, it's totally official. And those are definitely not tickets off the street. Those are legit because it says official.
They're official,
Yeah.
you know, but don't take the photocopied ones. Make sure if somebody's offering your photocopies, guys, word of the wise. I'm not that grassroots that it's photocopy tickets.
Hey, it was really cool to meet you over the thing, and continued success. Really cool story. Everything, and again, looking forward to the State Theater on the 9th, man.
Oh, good. I hope you make sure you come back, say hello. It's good to see you.
Will do. All right.
All right.
Thanks a bunch, Joe. Take care, man.
You got it.
See ya.
Bye.